Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Let's Talk Football NFC South Takeover!
Woo!
How are you doing tonight?
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, good.
Win. It's good to see all your beautiful faces tonight. As you can tell, I am definitely feeling a lot better for sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, we heard some very sad news today. So
Yes.
let's talk about that. Let's first just take a minute and just give a moment of silence for Adam Zimmer. Alrighty. So for those of you that don't know, Adam Zimmer is son of former Vikings coach Mike Zimmer. Funny enough, actually, Nicole, I'm not sure if you know this, but he actually started his NFL coaching career as the New Orleans Saints linebacker. Oh. So he did that actually from 2006 to 2009. Afterwards, one of his more, I guess, known coaching roles would have been for the Minnesota Vikings. He started as the linebacker coach from 2014 to 2019, and then 2020 to 2022, which is arguably his probably better known coaching years, was for the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. So, definitely a huge loss for the Minnesota Vikings NFL coaching staff history. And then as well, I did see the New Orleans Saints give a shout out to the family, Zimmer's family. Sorry, guys. Mm-hmm. And it's a sad day. It's just goes to prove that tomorrow is never guaranteed. So for anybody that is struggling or that just wants to reach out and talk about it, like by all means, we'll take questions or anything. We're always here. We're a family. So yeah, it's a sad day, but hopefully the family they get the support that they need through this troubling time, and we can move forward together as a family. So crushing news. Yeah. But let's talk about the week.
We have to?
Yeah,
right. We have to.
We should.
Hold on. Can I address something real quick?
Absolutely.
Who's the traitor in the bottom right? Listen, I am helping out some friends. All right.
Sean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sean. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're actually starting to like the Panthers a little bit. Like, don't lie to me right now.
Oh yeah, you're true. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I see your enthusiasm. You're not faking that. Like, you're not faking that.
Some of us happen to have Panther stuff in our house up there.
There we
go. Yeah. Hey, man, I have bad to say about the Panthers. I really don't. But
I got a lot of bad things. No.
Relax. We're not there. Okay. But let's get to Foobs first. Actually, let's go clockwise. So, talk about your Buccaneers this week. What are your thoughts? What did you think that they did well, and what do you think they could have improved on? I know there was there's good and bad to every game, right? So,
I mean, okay, we ended up having a bit of a kerfuffle with the Baltimore Ravens, 27-22. I don't know. It's weird because I've always said that if anybody makes a trade at the trade deadline to acquire picks, that usually means that they know what is going to happen the next 10 weeks of the season, and they're just kind of letting it fall into place. I don't understand why the Buccaneers didn't make a trade.
I was shocked too. I'm going to be honest with you. I was waiting for it.
Out of all these teams, and I did say in the chat, and I still hold true to this too, anybody who is already taken care of with quarterback and stuff like that, they didn't even necessarily want to deal their first-round pick. Nobody wants to deal their first-round pick because there's a shot at so many quarterbacks that you can get next draft. Everybody knows.
You're not wrong.
So the first-round pick is way more valuable than anybody thinks. But the Bucs got Jason Pierre-Paul back in the day for a third-round pick, and that was by far one of the best trades we've ever made. We have at least two of them. We have 2 second-round picks. Why didn't we make any trades? Like Sean Murphy Bunting was on the trade bubble, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And he's still on the team. And for some odd reason, we are consistent at getting 20 points. We got 31 points one time and we still lost. We're consistent with being mediocre. We're consistent with Tom Brady getting hit. We're consistent on that category. Yet when all these other offensive linemen are said to be available for trade, and we only have to give up maybe a couple of thirds, because you see star wide receivers, there we go, coming out of teams like that, going for second round picks.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me I can't go get another Shaq Mason for a fifth?
You're not wrong, Fuchs, and not to cut you off, but like that's kind of what I was wondering as well. Like, you know, kind of not to dive too deep into the draft because the trades and the trade deadline. Because honestly, we could probably make a whole show about this. But I was kind of a little bit baffled about it as well. Like a lot of really good players went for like high second round picks. So yeah, like why didn't the Bucs go and do that? I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked.
It seems as if maybe they're like, we have so many holes that we are going to have in the future that we can't give up this capital and we have to draft something. Like we have to draft these young, talented guys that are going to be there. I get it, but we're 3-5 and and like I said before, we got 4 years of money now pushed down the drain and we lose to the Ravens, who are also respect. I'm not going to, respect. The Ravens aren't doing that hot either.
No, it wasn't a pretty game.
No, it was not a pretty game. Lamar didn't even run that much. I was just like, somebody do something.
There was some penalties on that O-line that definitely I saw that frustration. Would you say, Andrew, that the waters are a little bit murky as far as trying to sort out and having that fall?
They're gator infested. They're gator infested, man. That's what it is. They're gator infested. And the gators are hungry. And they're coming to eat. Like Tom Brady's 45 years old. It's finally
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. It's all good. It finally happened. It finally happened. Where Tom Brady's, not say starstruck. Starstruck is the wrong word, but he's seeing ghosts. He's Sam Darnolding himself. You know what I mean? And honestly, everyone's saying, well, you have to invest into it. And I kind of go with what Sid and a few other people have said into the chat. Why do we have to assemble all of this and use all this draft pick and capital to assemble a team around him if he can't already do it with some of the people that he already has?
Agreed. Teams have a lot less than what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have, and they're doing a lot better.
1,000%. You know how many people would kill for a Tristan Wirth? Or even for Julio Jones at this point right now, and we cannot utilize him. So I don't know. I still have hope, but it is very slim. I'm just getting used to going back to the old Buccaneer days, so I'm getting ready.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
It is what it is. But you know what? If for some odd reason we come back around and we can make it to the playoffs and we start doing a run, I'll be happy. But even if we win a championship, I'm going to be like, this is the ugliest championship we've ever won.
Oh, agreed. 100%. Like, regardless if you turn it around, like it's not a proud season. That's the way I look at it. Regardless of like if Atlanta were to squeak through, like I'm not happy, and I'm not gonna go too much into it of what the Atlanta Falcons have done so far. Like it's better than what my expectations were, but it's not graceful.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
you
still are div.
You are guys, like you guys are getting it done though. Like the Falcons are doing a good job in my opinion. Like you guys I would much rather my guys be like yours right now, young and hungry.
I was gonna say, is this your humble moment?
Kinda. My humble moment towards like the Falcons here is the fact that like the Falcons show every single weekend right now that they are young, that they are hungry. They understand this number. Everyone knows the number that looms over the organization as a joke. It's the same type of thing that's went over the Minnesota Vikings and all the other teams that have had these curses, right? And they're tired of it. And they're playing like they're going to get tired of it. And I love it. I love what the Atlanta Falcons are doing. I wish my team would play the way that the Atlanta Falcons are. Even when they're losing, they're having fun and they're at least playing under Arthur Smith. So yes, that is my what is it called again? Sorry, Nicole.
Be humble.
Be humble towards the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, don't fumble it, but be humble to the Atlanta Falcons because they're young and they're looking good. So props to them.
I love you, man. You're a beaut. You're a beaut. Sean Spencer from the other side of the field. Give me the deets.
Look, at the end of the day.
Oh, did you lose your
Muted.
volume?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
good.
There we go.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me address this. Don't cheat on us, Will. Listen, Will, don't worry about what I do when I'm not talking about Washington, all right?
Well,
I
you know
love
what?
the Panthers.
Go back in your closet, Will, and put on your Eagles jersey, all right? I'm done with it.
Yo, and honestly, I mean, hey, look, first and foremost, trade deadline. Shout out to everybody that made the trades. We obviously did all of our work before the trade deadline. CMC gone. We got the picks back from that. Robbie Anderson gone, so that's where we are. But we kept Brian Burns. We kept our guy DJ Moore. Yeah. And now it's kind of looking like not a bad idea. We saw the game we had a week ago. And one major acquisition that we picking up Dante Foreman to go with Chuba Hubbard in that backfield. Okay. And we've really kind of just said, focus, run the ball, limit what, the mistakes and everything. And we're good and rely on that good defense. And look, it was a rough game. It was a great game. You know what I mean? Hard fought all the way through. I mean, early in the game, we're kind of holding you guys down. And then Marcus Mariota, man, those legs proved to be the difference, because every time we thought we had him, he gets out of it and hits a guy downfield and is able to get him going. And I'm giving up all my be humbles. I need to stop. Because Atlanta played good. We played up with them, but it really came down to that last quarter. We went back and forth, scoring 21 points in the fourth. But I got to shout out, and again, I don't want to give too much because I know we're talking about my quarterback, but I got to shout out PJ Walker, man.
Phenomenal,
PJ,
man.
He came in, he did what he needed to do. And one of the things that I like about him, it wasn't a perfect game. He threw that pick six early that put us behind, and he still came back, was able to put on that show in the fourth quarter. And I'm going to tell you something, man, to have that kind of performance after everything we've gone through, as far as the coach getting fired, our main guys, getting shipped out, and everything that's kind of been the way it is, to have that performance a week ago, and then to go toe to toe with you, who are the class of the NFC South. You are the best, sir. You are the best. I'll give you that due right now.
Not doing it. Not happening.
But we went toe to toe with you, and went all the way to overtime. And you know what? I mean, I think that says more positive things about the Panthers than negative.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes down the line. But as far as this, it's a loss. You want to get the W. But coming out of this game, I'm kind of like, man, there's some positives, man. Dante Foreman and his running, I mean, it's just one cut straight downhill. And I'm loving that, man, because we've been able to run the ball all, and that all that does is help PJ Walker. That just helps him to kind of be able to have time in back there, because they have to respect the run. So I love what's going on. I love the chance. And in this division, the way things are going right now, I mean, you guys are up, but I mean, we're 1 or 2 games back, right? So that's where I'm kind of like, we're still in this thing. So I feel good about it. I kind of feel like my Commanders felt when we were the Washington, we were the NFC least, and it was kind of like, yeah, we're 1-7, but everybody else is 2-6, so we're still in the hunt. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel right now. I feel good, and you're right, Kyle. I am starting to come over. I got the blue on,
I like it.
I'm starting to do it. I'm starting. It's feeling.
I knew there was going to be a flash of Washington.
Right.
Like, you're a Tar Heels fan anyways, so like basically by affiliation, right?
That is exactly right. That is right.
That's funny. Well, Nicole, you had a very different game. Very different game. So why don't you touch on that?
I can see the light. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. So we played the Raiders from good old Las Vegas. And what did I say last week about my predictions? No turnovers. I can't handle another turnover.
0.
And guess what happened? 0 turnovers. So I think someone's listening to our podcast.
There we go.
And how many points? How many points did the Raiders put up?
0, my friend. Yeah. 0. I mean, it was an amazing game. Alvin Kamara, definitely, I think he has something to prove, that he was like, you know what, I'm shutting down any trade rumors that's going around with my name on it. I'm getting each and every one of those touchdowns.
Mm.
So
Wow.
Jay Jacobs, who? Oh, right. Yeah. Below 100 yards. That's right. I'm so sorry. But yeah, now we're 3-5. I just need, the Panthers, you keep doing what you're doing. You guys just need to come down, all right? So I think I'm full of spice and vinegar, and I'm ready to take this over.
I love it. I love
So
it.
that's what the game did to me.
I love that.
Oh God. Well, Mr. Bucs reporter here, Andrew Faubert. I know you have another show coming up right away. Which, if anybody here is a hockey fan and is tuning in, please check it out.
Oh yeah.
He is on a Chicago hockey show, but in all fairness, he talks about everything. Definitely, he respects the Detroit Red Wings. Whatever. Like
I talk literally. We trying to set this thing just off of the ground for all the hockey people and stuff like that. And we obviously talk our Red Wings. We talk the Blackhawks, and because it's on the Chicago, sports platform, I play nice with the Chicago people.
Be a good boy.
But I do talk about all the other teams that are out there because a hockey show needs to be talked about everybody except for the Bruins because F the Bruins.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so mad that they're first. Oh, God.
Never the Bruins. I will never work with a Bruins fan ever again. Ever again. But wait, no one in here is a Bruins fan, are they?
I hope.
Actually, I don't like them. That's one of the teams I don't like. And I'm sorry, no offense to everyone. I love you.
I'm about to.
I thought we were talking about UCLA, so I don't know.
No. Boston Bruins.
Right. I don't know who we're talking about.
The New England Patriot fan base of the NHL.
Yeah, listen here, Ovechkin.
Right. I know him. I know Ovi. Like that 140 exchange student, everyone knows one word. Ovi.
Like Bortles. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can check it out. It's on the 1252 Chicago sports platform. I'll be up on there talking a little bit of hockey. Thank you guys for having me up on here yet again. I know the schedules make all my shows cross and stuff like that, but listen, hey, I got help on the way. Okay, don't you worry. Help is on the way. Don't worry. So we'll get to that in a couple weeks on NSD. Much love. Shout out to Let's Talk Football for hosting all the NSD social media platform stuff. Shout out to the Falcons fan. Shout out to the Saints fan. Shout out to the Panthers fan. And shout out to Mr. Handy about to be popping on here in a couple of minutes to talk about his Georgia Bulldogs. Was being in the Falcons slot. Did you guys trade it? I was actually going to say that. Like almost everybody was in their slot there and stuff. But yeah, shout out to Mr. Handy. Shout out to all those Georgia fans because again, it's an absolute atrocity that you guys are ranked anywhere besides number one. And I am a Gators fan. Much love to everybody. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Go Bucs.
Awesome. Oh, we're buddy. 3-screen. Oh, there you go. That's wow. So I guess that puts me in. So yeah, we own the South. What is up? 500. So you know what? I'm not even gonna try and talk it up that it was a good game. I'm gonna be quite frank. We should have lost that game. We absolutely should have lost that game. I say Carolina, what they did is they exploited our weaknesses. That's very clear. So kudos to them for actually, planning ahead and, watching the tapes and actually going into the game and doing what they should have done, to be quite honest with you. We have and I'm not going to go and try and blame it to injuries like any other team would do. Like reality, you kind of roll with the punches and you got to do what you have. And that's the whole point of having depth in a team. In every position, that's why you want depth, right? So they threw the ball. They threw the ball to our corners, and our corners, our top pairing corners, Casey Hayward and as well AJ Turrell were both out, right? So we did sign Armstrong, who he did phenomenal, honestly, for his first game. Like he definitely lived up to the role. He did go down injured for a little bit, so that was a little bit concerning. But yeah, it was pretty insane. Kudos also to PJ Walker for throwing an absolute Hail Mary, for 62 yards. And landing it too, which is, again, something that our team should have covered. That shouldn't have got to that point, but it did. And and then there's that whole DJ Moore situation that happened. So, everybody can say that he was out in the out or he was out off the field and stuff like that. But you know what? To be quite honest with you, the NFL isn't putting up with that shit. To put it plain, it's not. It's really not. This happened last year. I don't remember the player, but a similar situation happened where they took off a helmet and they were penalty. Like the NFL is not. They're not putting up with it. So honestly, for the people that are complaining that Carolina should have won based on that, well. This isn't new information, to be quite honest with you. So it's, take it as you will. Teams have been on the receiving end, as we have with bad reffing calls too. But this one was pretty justified. And, it is a lucky horseshoe up our butts that, Eddie Pinheiro did miss 2 kicks. So I'm happy that the Falcons pulled it out with a 37-34 win. I'll take it without grace, but, that happens. Every team goes through it. Every team gets that squeaker, and you know what? I'm just hoping that. I'm glad we have it this week because now we're starting to get some of our injured players back. So,
do you guys think that this game between you guys have kind of set a precedence for a little bit more rivalry? Because that game was crazy.
I'll be honest with you.
I think so.
I'll be honest. Like, I know, like they say that the Saints are always the divisional rivals in the season with a lot of teams in the NFC South. To me, in my honest opinion, it's always been the Panthers. Like Atlanta has always fought with the Panthers. Like the Panthers and Atlanta, to me, are the number 1 rivals in the NFC. So like that's the way I look at it. I've always looked at it that way. So I know we have a very competitive division, but for the most part, I don't know. It's always Atlanta and Carolina battling for that spot. That's what I've always seen. And it's funny because, I think I said on a previous show that Atlanta and Carolina, fun fact, both had 2 Super Bowl appearances. Both lost to the Denver Broncos and New England Patriots. So it's a crazy stat, honestly. And it's funny because in consecutive years, I believe as well, like if the Panthers went to the Super Bowl, I think the Falcons went the year after, I'm pretty sure too.
Wow.
So it's actually insane on how close the Panthers and the Falcons have been on a lot of it. So yeah, it's crazy. I'll take the W as I will, but
I was
like,
so excited last week.
Hey, you know what? If the Panthers would have got that win, that would have been absolutely insane. So
oh my goodness,
that definitely would have like shaken up the division even more so than what it needed to be. But I guess I'll transition even to the studs and the duds just because we're here anyways. So finally, Kyle Pitts showed up. That's my I cannot believe it. 5 catches, 80 yards, 2nd TD. So he's already a step ahead from where he was last year. So at least I can say there's improvement. Now, it's really tough. Like, I don't understand where the utilization is with Marcus Mariota. Like, I still think, and I guess this is going to tie into my dud and my stud. So Marcus Mariota, as much as he did win the game, he is my dud. So I'm going to tie them in together here. So the thing is I know Marcus Mariota is doing what he is comfortable with. I know Arthur Smith is a run-first coach. That's fine. I get it. He comes from Tennessee. Tannehill did have an arm, but they had such a strong running back core that it was stupid to not have a running first mentality. So the same kind of thing is happening here in Atlanta, but it shouldn't be because, sure, we have Cordero Patterson, and that's awesome. Like, he definitely has proven, and I'm excited for him to be back next week. But you have Drake London and you have Kyle Pitts, who are easily 1A receivers. Like, there's no question about it, right? So why aren't you utilizing it? Because I look at a lot of these stud and dud, I guess, analyses from, this week, and everybody's putting Drake London as a dud, but I don't really understand it because how can you put Drake London as a dud if you're not throwing him the ball? Like, you can say that a wide receiver is having a bad week, but like, that's like saying that, you're going to say that Alvin Kamara is a dud because you decided to throw more to Michael Thomas. That's not like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Right. Like, so I don't understand what's going on. I'm still very happy that Marcus Mariota is a mobile quarterback because that's not something that I've seen since I've been a fan in Atlanta. But at the same time, you need to have that dualness. You need to be able to run and throw. So I'm happy for what he's doing. If he brings us to the playoffs, that's fine, and I love it. But at the same time, it's very, very clearly prevalent for anybody that watched that game that we have a very poor passing game, and that's something that needs to be addressed in the offseason. So
makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. So Nicole,
Mhm.
I'm sure you have many studs, but I guess you should pick one or two.
Oh, you know what? My team car here, we just got it into winter and we put the studs on all of them.
Oh,
Okay.
did you, bud?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we did.
Put out the
We
winter tires and you let it run, eh?
Yeah, we got Alvin Kamara. 3 touchdowns. He had a 3-yard run, 16-yard reception, 36-yard reception. So he finished with 62 yards on 18 carries and 9 receptions for 69 yards. So I like it. I'm feeling so good and confident with him because it means that he's healthy. He's mentally and physically healthy. And I didn't know this, but he's the first player in NFL history to record 10 games with at least 1 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown in his first 6 seasons.
Wow.
Because he's on his 6th season with us now. So
Is he
yeah.
gonna stay?
Oh, if I have any say in the matter, yes.
A lot of talk of Kamara actually being some trade bait. To be quite honest with you, I wouldn't be
Well,
shocked.
and this is why I think he did the 3 touchdowns just to say, like, no, there's no
Here.
if, ands, or buts. I'm with the
Right.
team, but also to put a little bit on his resume and being like, hey, my salary is this for a reason.
Mhm.
I produce things.
Good point.
I make things happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my duds, I was really trying hard to pick a guy, but we had Raiders at 0. So my dud is Dennis Allen.
Why?
Because my sole and only reason is, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Sean Payton ended up going and visiting, the Saints during the week at their stadium. And the timing of it is after this with the shutdown. He's had multiple players that he's played with, like Kamara, Taysom Hill, and a lot of other stars. That it felt like a game that I would be watching if Drew Brees was in the and Sean Payton were on there. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna give it up, and I would say that the win goes to Sean Payton for that reason. I really don't know how much Dennis Allen had a hand in the cookie jar, but I have a feeling that you can't just go over to the stadium and not talk shop about all the plays. And I mean, it's pretty hard for Sean Payton to not talk shop. So
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah. I agree.
that
I like
was me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, you know what? You guys had quite the game. I'm really happy because I'm not a Raiders fan, so I do love when the Raiders get destroyed, and for how much power they should have, realistically, like it really just shows that you can go and get all the bells and the whistles, but that doesn't call you a bike. So
Shout out to Mark's sister.
Yeah,
She's a Raiders fan, so apologies.
Shout out to you. Maybe it's Derek Carr's final season. That'd be awesome to see.
If it is, I need to know now because I started him, and between him and Devontae Adams, they both gave me like 0 points. So I said, I can't do this again.
You still give me the L in fantasy though, Sean. So whatever, it doesn't really matter what you do. So.
That's right. I wasn't gonna say anything.
That's fine. No, you can. I own it.
We were even. We were even because you gave me the L in the game, so I was good.
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah, it was a close one. It was a close one though. So, so what about your studs and duds, Sean? What's going on?
My studs. Honestly, I can go with the big 3. I can go with Dante Foreman. I can go with DJ Moore, and then obviously the quarterback. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the quarterback, PJ Walker. Man, I mean, look, last year they went and got Sam Darnold. He plummeted. He didn't do anything. This year they did, and then midway through they got Cam Newton. This year you sit here and get Baker Mayfield. We see he's not playing. PJ Walker has consistently been there. Each time they've called him, he's been ready to play. He's been there with Robbie Anderson, with C-Mac and all that, and he's been there without. And to play the game that he played against a division rival and have us in that game and give us a shot to win it at the end. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel like this is kind of like a Taylor Heineke thing in Washington where it's like, this Absolutely. Is the guy. Like, he feels like he gives us a shot in the arm. He gives us the energy, makes us feel like, yeah, we can do this. And it absolutely, with all of the pieces that we are missing, and for him to do that, like that, oh man, that 21-point fourth quarter, and then the 62-yard bomb that you were talking about, man, like, Let's go, man. I love
Absolutely.
that. So shout out to this guy. He's taking advantage of his opportunity. He's getting his chance and he's making the best of it. Hey, and this, if you could continue this is great. This is absolutely great. Now, my dud, you actually mentioned him, Kyle, and it's what gave you guys an opportunity to stick in the game. Our kicker, Panera, sat there. Look, he was 2 of 3 on field goals, 2 of 3 on extra points. A field goal I can understand, but you missing an extra point is unacceptable. Like I can't defend you on that. And obviously, as we've seen, it was a 3-point game, where we lost. So if we, things are changed, a kicker, you got to do it. And I understand. Hey, good. Shout out to you. You got 2 other kicks. You got 2 other extra points, but the ones you missed cost us the game. So I'm sorry. You
won us the game. Literally. So kickers win games. And to be honest with you, just to tie into it, with Pinero and everything that happened, like, isn't that exactly what happened with Blankenship? And that's why he's off the team. So I don't know if there's been any word because I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that, like, I feel like they're shopping around. I don't know if you have any insight on that, Sean. Is he still on the team?
So right now he's still on the team, and from everything I've heard up to trade deadline, I haven't heard anything about him being moved. I've heard the rumors and whatnot, but I haven't heard of any concrete move that's actually happened. So right now, him and Burns are still in the squad. So as far as I'm concerned, all right, let's move on. Let's move forward. As you saw, shout out to Ben who was saying DJ's Moore's new nickname is Helmet. Yeah, as you saw that move, I think that did show a little frustration that maybe he's dealing with the fact that it feels like you're shipping out all the weapons. Every opportunity we have, anything that can help us, it seems like you're sending it elsewhere. So, now you're just putting it all on my shoulders, and I think it's kind of getting to him. But at the same time, I don't excuse it. You can't do that stuff, especially when it comes down to that situation that could have an effect in the game. I mean, to be honest, we put ourselves in that situation, but at the same time, you got to keep it cool. You got to do what you're supposed to do. So, hey, that's my stud and dud for this week.
No, fair. You know what? Kind of with what you're saying as well with DJ Moore. I get it. You might be under pressure because, you just took away like your pairing, right? Like your other guy, like one of your good friends, he's been on the team with Robbie Anderson for some time now, right? So, to see him go, I'm sure is not that great, but I'm going to compare it actually to Atlanta and with what happened with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. So, Julio Jones was the guy for, like he was all the talk of wide receivers for like 2 or 3 years, right? So the thing is Calvin Ridley, who was a very, very good wide receiver on Alabama, and that hurts me to say because I am not an Alabama fan. That's your chance to shine. You know what I mean?
Right,
that's your chance to show that you can be the guy, right? So sure, yeah, you're not going to be a fan of team decisions and management decisions and everything like that, sure, but that is what makes a good wide receiver is to rise up through adversity. That's what it needs. And you know what? Like look at PJ Walker, right? PJ Walker is behind all these guys as quarterback. Now he has a game where he's able to stand out and show, you know what? No, I'm not just an XFL quarterback. Like I'm here for a reason. The team signed me for a reason, right? So I'm going to show them what I can do. I'm going to show them my arm. And I'll even lead into it. That's my be humble. Like my be humble is PJ Walker, right? The Houston Roughneck, right? He threw a 62-yard bomb, and honestly, like he showed that he's a consecutive passer. You know what? Yeah, sure, he had 2 interceptions in the game, but so did Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota has started on a few teams, right? So shout out to PJ Walker showing that it doesn't matter what division you come from, you're there to play the game, and you're there to play that game. So you know what? Like I give him all the respect. It's as much as I'm happy with the W, PJ Walker, I'm going to tell this right now, you deserve to win that game. You did. So shout out to him, man. Like that guy is absolutely unreal. So who wants to go next? Who's going to be humble?
I was just going to say, for the record, I was cheering for the Panthers, and I have a feeling, I'm really happy that the team had Moore's back in supporting when we do fall. We fall really quite greatly, but it's great to have the team having his back.
Absolutely.
My humble. Okay, so I have to step back here. Last week I didn't do it to be humble segment, so I apologize. I was gonna say for my be humble was Young Ho Kuz. He's got that young gravy swagger. He made 3
Thanks
for
a lot,
3.
Nicole. Thanks a lot. Now I got to go back to the drawing board. God.
But my Be Humble more so was the one that I skipped out on last week, which was Shaq Thompson. So he I mean, this was last week, but he had some pretty great grades overall. And franchise rankings, he ranks 5th of all time with 563 career tackles. So he is a linebacker, number 7.
Nice.
And yeah, I didn't know that he was actually drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the 18th round in 2012
wow.
MLB draft.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So I wanted to give props and yeah, be humble to both of you guys. So
love Nicole.
yes.
I love that your Saints are still fighting in that division. I think it's awesome.
Wow. Can you give me a second, Kyle, since Nicole wants to take my Young Ho, because I enjoyed Young Ho and I was going to go there.
It's Young Wei. Okay, Young Wei.
Young Ho. You know what?
Let's treat the man with respect. Young Wei. Okay. He won us a game. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yo, I'm going to be humble to the New Orleans Saints defense.
Ooh.
Yes. Shut out which on paper is a very explosive offense with that Las Vegas Raiders. You guys completely shut them down, and especially coming off of the game that you had where you gave up the 42 to the Cardinals or whatever. I think this was a huge game, and it was a get right game. And I mean, you had 4 sackles, 7 tackles for loss, 9 QB hits. You know what I mean? Like you guys were all over that quarterback. You guys were all domination. Just shut them down. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? Barely over 100 yards on the ground. Under 250 in the air. That's I admire the defense. You have done good. I like that.
I didn't know that you traded for Roman Reigns, Nicole. I didn't know that you adapted the acknowledge me.
Oh, is this real?
Yes.
Is this real?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact, this isn't my discovery, but Roman Reigns actually did play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So did Brock Lesnar.
Yep. And actually for the Atlanta Falcons, again, not my discovery. Okay. Goldberg played for the Atlanta Falcons.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Like that.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, Jason Sway, I just want to make sure that you have all those snacks. You have all those snacks to watch this Poppy, all right?
Have your popcorn.
The Young Ho.
Yeah, the Young Ho. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. He is one of the family members in the Let's Talk Football community. His name is Mr. Anthony Haney. But before we bring him out, if you're not familiar with the show and any other shows with the Let's Talk Football family, we have a little commercial for you. So let's check it out, and we will be right back. Mistafingaz, but I like to refer to him as Dad. Hello, Dad. How are you? Like I know I was supposed to keep that secret, and not reveal our DNA test results, but my ancestry somehow brought me to Oklahoma. So I just
I have. I'm about to sound like another. I mean, I have 4 children. 1, 2, 3, 4 children. I got more children than I need because every single one of them has brain damage. Okay. No,
this adds up. This is adding up for me. I'm just letting you know.
What's going on, man?
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, sir. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? The Falcons won and the Dogs are in the top 4 in the CFP, so I'm okay with that. Hey,
for some reason. Love it. All right.
Well, depending on which version of the Dirty Birds you want, because you either want the Jamal Anderson one with the sign of the cross, or you want the Deion Sanders, the Dirty Bird shuffle. Yeah.
Loving Pitts, doing the Dirty Bird dance. I hope he rocks it every touchdown. I really do.
If you really want to get funky, because I think Billy White Shoes played for the Falcons at some point during his career where he did the Billy White Shoes, but that was before they were called the Dirty Birds.
Oh, see, what were they called before the Dirty Birds? I actually don't know.
They were just called the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. No nickname, nothing.
They're just the Falcons.
They were just the Falcons. Oh well, I take that back. They did have, even though they weren't the greatest team in the world, they had one of the most feared defenses in that division. They used to call them the Grits Blitz.
Oh, wow. Okay, didn't know that.
Yep, we weren't born yet. We were the Panthers were not around. We weren't here yet. So.
Listen. Hey, look, don't let me bring out Uncle Shay Shay on you today, okay? All of y'all been calling me old. I went to the on cue yesterday, and the girl behind the counter, between the girl behind the counter and the guy behind the counter, I was still older than both of them by 13 years, and then they just looked at me like, wow. I'm like, wow, my backside. You called me old. Y'all act like I'm supposed to be standing on my front lawn screaming, "You get off my lawn!" This is not Gran Torino. Okay?
You do like your lawn, though. You do take pride in your lawn.
I take a lot of pride in my lawn. Hey, listen, that's for another reason, though. This is not too many of me and my cousins on my block, so I had to make sure my lawn. We all make sure our lawns is straight. Be like, hey, cuz you better get your lawn for the HOA code. I'm just saying. I will let you draw your own inferences from there. Anyway, hi. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic.
Hey, Nicole, I'm going to tell you for real, like, seriously, if you get signed by a record label, if you don't call the tour the Spice and Vinegar Tour, I'm going to be really mad.
Oh, yes. It's funny because I don't like either of those things, but I'm okay with it.
So that would just make it doubly ironic. But I don't. Thank you for coming to the Spice and Vinegar Tour. I don't like either, but
don't bring anything. Don't bring anything like that, please.
Yes, please do not bring me bottles of hot sauce to sign. I won't do it, and no one chip challenges and none of that. But thank you for paying for tickets, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Just support the cause.
Yeah. So,
but Mistafingaz, did you get a chance to see what the trades were like today? By the way,
I was at work all day.
Okay.
I literally got home 15 minutes before we came on the air. I will get a chance to look at them. The one that jumped out at me the most was the one that I did see because my phone blew up 8 waves from Sunday was about Roquan. Boy, Bears fans are not happy.
No, definitely not. In particular with us, though, I'll give you the highlights. Actually, we did 3 things, and I'm not even exaggerating here, in the last 15 minutes of the trade deadline. I'm not even exaggerating with this. So to give you the cliff notes, Calvin Ridley was traded to the Jags.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily, I kind of was upset about it at first, but I kind of started to think about it with the direction that the team is going. It doesn't necessarily surprise me. So essentially, to give you the cliff notes of it, we are getting a 5th or 6th round pick. It's conditional depending if he returns or not in the 2023, and then in the 2024, dependent if, and there's a lot of conditions, so you'd have to look it up after the fact. If he plays, if he produces, and then if he signs a long-term contract, if he gets to the point where he signs a longer-term contract with the Jags, we get a 2024 second-round pick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, I think you can do a lot in the second round. So that was the one that was probably the blockbuster that nobody really expected. So thankfully for our secondary, the one that kind of caught by like in the last minute is we actually signed Rashad Fenton, the cornerback from the Chiefs, and we gave the Chiefs a 7th round pick. So
Okay.
I was happy about that considering he's a rookie and he's been balling out lately as a cornerback. So I think that's pretty awesome. And then unfortunately we traded away Marlowe, our safety, to the Bills, and we got a 7th round pick.
Like
So
the Bills need more help.
yeah, I know. The Bills look really great now. But
The Bills are like if you took the Justice League and the Avengers and mashed them all up together. That's what the Bills are this season.
yeah.
So it's just like everybody was just sitting around chilling, and then like Ultraman just showed up like, "Hey guys, I just got here from Georgia. What's up?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's insane, honestly. It really is insane. But the reason why I mentioned all these trades too is the Falcons are on top right now, right? We are winning the division, not gracefully, but a W is a W, and we're in first. But I guess from your perspective as well, you do have a little bit more of the knowledge, especially in the football. What do you think we need to do to stay on top? Like, we have a very winnable schedule, at least for the next 5 games. Like, what does Atlanta need to do to, I guess, stay as a contender in our NFC South?
Tighten up that secondary. There's no way that Helmet should have caught that pass in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally, I didn't get to see all of that game because, again, Oklahoma limited coverage. There was only one football game on for the because y'all, it's what is it, 1 and 4? It's a 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock on the East Coast, so it's 12 and 3 here. There was one 1 o'clock game on here.
It's 11 and 2 for us actually here.
Right. So we got the only part of that game I got to see live on television was the overtime. And I saw that defender. I mean, I saw the receiver. I'm sorry. I saw him. I was like, what are you doing? And it was a wrap. So they got to tighten up on those on those I mean, it's overtime. You've got less than a minute left to go in the game. You got less than 30 seconds left to go in the game, actually. And we have all seen from last year what can happen in the span of 13 to 15 seconds. Or in the case of certain co-hosts on certain shows in the family, what their team doesn't do in 13 seconds.
I don't know.
Anyway, we have seen what can happen in the span of 13 to 15 seconds in a game.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
What's that Kevin Hart say? Pew, pew. Anyway. Oh, hey, David. I didn't even know you was there.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, there's a lot can happen in that very short period of time. I mean, you see how crazy the game was between the Bills and the Chiefs last year. And God, they scored like 72 touchdowns in the span of a minute and 30 seconds. So it literally, you cannot make any mistakes. You can't. There's no give. You know, especially in a position like this. Let's say, I mean, okay, it's not the scenario, but what if this was the last game of the season and we needed this win to get in, and that touchdown let the Panthers get by us to get in the playoffs? Tighten up on those mistakes. From what I've seen just from watching highlights of the game, Marcus Mariota's they got to let the guy use his arm more. I mean, it's not like he's gotten beaten and banged up real bad during the course of his career. I'm pretty sure he's still got some fire in the cannon over there. And y'all were talking about it just a little bit ago. We got Drake London.
Yeah. Literally.
He was one of my rookie highlights. He was one of my rookie highlights. And Drake London can go up and get 50-50 balls. He can shake guys on out patterns. He can on a go route. Shit, he's gone. Stutter step gone. There's all these different things that he is such a weapon that you're not even using.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, the bulk of the offense was based off of Cordarrelle Patterson, and now that he's injured, it's like, well, anybody else want to run the ball? Oh wait, we ran the ball. We ran the ball 8 times. Okay, I'm gonna throw it. Who want the ball? Okay, no, not you, Drake. You just go. Look pretty,
Drake. Look pretty. Show us
like the old Bill Cosby routine about street football. It's like there's always that one kid. What about me? You go long. Like that's it.
Going, just keep going.
So those two things, I think, if they open up the passing game with Drake London, then because everybody at this point knows Atlanta's going to run. a lot more than they're going to pass. If you open up the passing game, now you got room to start doing stuff. Now you got room to go, okay, we go get some running plays and things like that going. Definitely. That's about all I got.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm a little bit harder on Mariota. I said this earlier too, that I'm happy that he's mobile, because again, Matt Ryan, as much as they say he was mobile, he was never that mobile. Not like how Mariota is, and that's really nice to see. But at this point, I know we're winning. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But throw in Ritter. Honestly, at this point, why would you not at least give him like a rep? You know what I mean? Like, I think with him, like, he's mobile. Like, he's gonna be probably as mobile as Mariota, like pretty comparable. I understand he might not have like the experience for sure. Like, he is young. He's gonna be in his first year, but I'm almost gonna put money on it that he's got a better arm. Like,
yeah,
honestly. So
I mean, even if their skills were identical, his arm is younger and
more tuned. Yeah, exactly. So
I want to stop you for a second and roll the clock back about 36 seconds. I want to know who in the hell said that Matt Ryan was mobile. Who said that? I ain't never said that. He wasn't. He couldn't move when he was at Boston College. He was 20 years old with legs like a 60-year-old man. You ever watch him when the old guys are running? That's how he runs. So
yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean,
no, I love it.
I got to bring you guys down though a little bit.
Sure.
Just down a little bit, one level. I just want to say,
of course you do.
Yes, you guys are on top. You guys enjoy it for now.
Yeah. Okay.
And just so you know, our division, you guys are in a division that has already had a coach fired, 2 teams that have started multiple quarterbacks, and the spiraling Bucs. So I'm not surprised. But also too,
you can't let nobody have nothing nice, can you?
Yeah.
We're in first place. Yeah, but the other team, half of them crippled, and this team over here, they all got disqualified. And them guys over there, they suspended the whole squad because they was at the boat party with the Minnesota people 20 years ago.
You go back to church.
I'm just saying, now there's 2. I don't know. Where's my other Saints buddy?
Yeah. Look, you guys in first place, but Tom Brady's 45 years old, though. He chose to come back and play. Hey, you getting a paycheck every week. You better show up and do your job.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
I'm just saying, there's a man at Walmart can't move his arms or his legs, and he does his job that's a true story. In Gainesville, Virginia, where I used to live before we came out here, they had a door greeter, and it's something else he used to do. He can't move his arms or his legs, and he get employee of the month every year. And do you want to say, oh, Tom Brady's old and he's crippled and he's saying get off my line and he's losing his way from me? You play football.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm 52. You give me the ball, I'm going out there, and I'm gonna get hurt. I'm gonna be like Lawrence Taylor, getting hurt every week.
Whoa,
did I get it?
It's a bad season. Just relax. Okay?
I will never give up, and I will never surrender.
But I guess with that, I don't know,
Pounding.
Anthony. I don't know if you know, but Sean, if you can pull up the picture, this is what our cap situation is actually going to look like potentially. So right now, the cap season 2023, just before it jumped, is we were at 65, and we could go to 76 million before the carryover. Now, there's a lot of speculation that Mariota will get cut in his final season, which would actually bump us up to 90 million before free agent even starts. What do you think about that? Considering also that we were actually negative cap space going into this season.
Yes.
And somehow Terry Fontenette, which is a shout out to the New Orleans Saints for giving us their GM, is doing miracles right now.
Cap is a lie.
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and money is an imaginary construct too. So it's like this piece of paper is worth something. Okay.
How do we increase how we get money?
What's that?
Sorry.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
I'm just new to this about how you can increase your sales cap.
It's
the salary cap. Oh yeah.
Salary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they put a cap on how much you're supposed to on how much you're supposed to be able to spend every year for players' salaries. And the thing is to try and stay under the salary cap in case you want to pick up free agents or things like that, or re-signing players that are getting more money, that kind of thing. But the whole deal is it's basically like your checking account. You don't ever want it in the negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we were in. We were in.
And because they gave Matt Ryan, how much money they give Matt Ryan?
Oh, I think it's
right after they lost this. Right after the season they went to the season after they went to the Super Bowl, I believe it was. They gave him like $100 and some odd $1 million.
I'm gonna look it up.
And guaranteed a fat chunk of it, and had to carry and had to.
So you can't get a refund.
No.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, that's true.
It.
Yeah.
No, this ain't Walmart. Be like, hey, welcome to the NFL customer service. How can I help you? Yeah, I want to refund on this quarterback, this non-mobile quarterback.
It was apparently in 2019, right? He had an optional $10 million guaranteed bonus. In 2022, he had a $7.5 million guaranteed bonus. And in 2023, he had a guaranteed $12 million bonus. Just to give you an idea of where our dead cap space right now is.
Hold on.
Pretty much.
Hold on. They guaranteed the man a bonus in a year he hadn't even played yet.
Yeah.
So he can show up and stink up the joint the whole season and still get a guaranteed bonus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am working I should have stayed playing football. He's
got some good hype guys.
Right?
No. Don't listen.
Get good lawyers and everything.
Listen, man. Either that or I need to become a sports agent because the Drew Rosenhaus saying he worked like as much as the Walton family or something like that.
Yeah. right. Like it's unbelievable. But I could talk Falcons all night, honestly. Like there's a lot I still want to cover too. Like, I guess kind of with you, Sean, we did talk about it, and I guess this is kind of an open table for this, but is PJ Walker the guy? Is he the guy?
I think that's fool's gold. I mean, it'd be nice to say that we can build around this guy, bring the right pieces in, and maybe help him. But at the end of the day, there was a limit to his ability to begin with. That's why he fell so far on the depth chart. That's why he was in the XFL. You know what I mean? This is a classic. This is almost like I said before, like a Taylor Heineke situation, a classic case of a journeyman quarterback, probably a career backup, somebody that's been given an opportunity. We've seen this year how many of these old quarterbacks that have been traveling to different teams are finally getting that opportunity. Ellinger started against my team a week ago. That's his first start. But then you got the older guys like Jacoby Brissett and Geno Smith who are getting that opportunity. They've been backups forever. You know what I mean? So you have a situation like this. Everybody else has been pretty terrible. And it's like they said, PJ, all right, it's your team. And he's like, I've been ready. Let's go. All right, I've been sitting back here watching everything y'all are doing, watching the system, practicing with these guys and that guy. I'm good to go. And he's had the opportunity a week ago, and he had a good game plan a week ago. Run the ball, and then let him do what he needs to do, dink and dunk, whatever. And then this week it was we tried to do that, and we got behind, some of them because of his mistakes. And then what happened? We said they let him loose, and I thought that was perfect. Actually, matter of fact, who said it? David said it. The best, you don't get experience until you experience something. Throwing him in there and having him experience that is the best thing for him. Now, at the end of the day, is he going to be the next coming of Cam in his prime? Is he going to be? No, I don't think so. But if you build around him, you could have success. You could definitely have success. Steve Wilkes, the interim coach right now, is going to has them playing together, and the defense is still solid. You know what I mean? So I personally, I don't think he's the guy, but I am all for, as long as you have the interim coach, as long as you're going through this year, he's a healthy guy. He's a hot hand. You ride him as long as he goes. But long term, like next couple years, I don't think he's the guy personally. I got them picking up a quarterback in the draft, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, it's
anyone
kind of
else
one
got
of those.
anything to add to that? I'm on agreement, honestly. Sean,
I was just gonna say that I think he's been drinking his mineral water because he's been looking like a metaphoric rock.
Wow! Wow, Nicole, I love it. I love it. Real tying
Let's go.
into the fact that we were talking about rocks in the chat. I like that, Nicole. I like that. That was good. That was good. Well, I guess since you decided to peep up, Nicole, let's talk about your Saints. Hey, they embarrassed the Raiders. Is this artificial, or is this something that they're gonna run with? I guess going forward. So, I know that you guys have a big opponent next week, but like, what do you? I'm sure you guys, it was a big win. Not a lot to look at negatively, but at the same time, right? They were the kind of crumbling Raiders in all fairness, right? So, what do you got to do to tighten up?
I mean, I like to say that I did see a little bit of that, 2018, 2017 New Orleans defense, where they would go up in those cameras and show them off all of those muscles because they've been pretty, attacking defense. And I like that. I think what they need to do more is they need to pull more turnovers. And I think they need to pull and get more turnovers. I mean, there was 4 sacks, 1 interception, and no one pointed this out, but I mean, it was not until 2 minutes left in the game that we held them like right at before the half line. They didn't even reach it until the end.
Wow, that's impressive. Actually, I didn't know that.
I like that.
I just couldn't believe it. I was stunned. I mean, the last time we had a shutout was against the Bucs. Andrew? for a 9-0 win. That was last year, December 19th. So, oh, how sweet it is. But there's a lot that we need to do. And I still think that we need Sean Payton back.
Yeah, coaching would be big. I definitely agree. I think the Bucs just need to keep doing what they're doing personally. They're a good team, absolutely. But I'm not going to try and fabricate it. You can have a good player like Alvin Kamara, but unfortunately that can't be your whole team. And an example of that is going to be the Tennessee Titans, and that's been proven today. So we don't have a Bucs fan, unfortunately, on here.
Well, wait a minute. Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Enjoy your win and everything, but the Raiders, Derek Carr has not been the same since he broke his leg a few years ago, and the Raiders are not the team that they used to be. Nobody fears them like they used to, and the ticket guy said that they didn't even sell out all the tickets to the game. They just put cardboard people in the stands with speakers behind them and with people with the strings like Home Alone to make it look like it's people out there. Okay, now how does that feel?
It feels good. They're saving on money. They were using those props from the COVID time,
I love it. That's so funny.
Well, hey, this was our home team. Oh, I get it now. I see what this is happening.
Oh God! Wow. But unfortunately, Foobs isn't here. It kind of sucks because I did want to talk about this, but I'll just nominate you, Handy, and you can go about this. You've been obviously an enemy of the Buccaneers for a long time. Yes. So I guess where do the Buccaneers go from here? To be quite honest, like it's kind of weird because we were talking about it at work today with a couple of guys. I was kind of mentioning because there's a couple of Bucs fans at my work, and it's not even necessarily just one player. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think, in my opinion, and guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think collectively the team is playing bad. So what do you do to change that around?
Well, first, let me go ahead and answer how Foobs would answer it. Tom Brady. Okay, that's my 3-second Foobs impersonation.
What?
He went to the Masked Singer, and I got helmets. Okay. Really, to be completely honest, I don't know what has happened to the Buccaneers. I really don't know what's happened to the Buccaneers. Brady's not Brady. I've never seen Brady. Even in his Super Bowl losses, Brady has not looked like he looks now. No. The team is just not hitting on all cylinders. I would venture to say there's some bickering going on behind closed doors, away from the cameras. You know how they have those players only meetings and things like that.
Yep.
Players only, which means one player's gonna get up and cuss everybody out for about 15 minutes.
Yep.
I have no clue what's going on with the Buccaneers. But I mean, I can't say that I'm not a little happy about it. But
I think all of us are, to be quite honest with you.
But of course, then the Buccaneer fans will say, "Hey guys, enjoy being on top, but we suck." So yeah,
Everybody says
see what
that.
I did? I brought it back full circle, Nicole.
We say that.
No, I mean, I seriously, I don't know. I mean, by all accounts, when you look at who's on that roster, they should be running away with it. And the way that the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints are playing, they should be running away with the division right now.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you all a question, actually. And I think this will kind of tie into what I was going to say, too. So I guess when you go to work, right? What's really important to you when you go to work? Like, what are some things that you look for?
To not get fired.
Okay.
Being on time.
Okay, being on time. Okay.
No, I mean,
my first break.
Your first
jokes aside, jokes aside, since I work in an environment where there's like 5 of us on a team, good team chemistry and support from the chain of command.
Okay, so support from a chain of command. Perfect. Okay. That's exactly where I was going with this. So, the fact is that Bruce Arians, right, is now not in that particular role where he is head coach, right? Like, to me, like, as being a supervisor and a manager in the past, is your team not a direct representation of how you direct it and how you lead it? So, in all fairness, right, with Bruce Arians being out, you can have all the weapons, as you want in the world, but at the same time, if you can't find the on or off switch, like, you're not using those weapons. In all fairness, right? So I'm not going to go and necessarily blame coaching, but I think I don't think it stems too far from the root of the tree. Honestly, I see that, Todd Bowles, I don't think he's doing the job. I'm not saying that's the only issue. And again, I said it earlier, I'm not going to blame injuries, but in this scenario, I am going to say that injuries do have a little bit of an effect in this because they have a lot of injuries, but maybe that also falls on coaching. Maybe that falls on, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator and how they're running, practice drills and stuff like that, right? Maybe that's a factor into it too. So I don't know. I think personally, what's next for the Bucs, if you want my honest opinion, I think Tom Brady is traded or he retires. I'm going to try and manifest that because I'm a Falcons fan, but I do realistically think that a coaching change is going to happen and probably before the end of the season.
I think what they need to do is take away all the shiny toys, all of the chains, all of the planes. And then what they do for their next game, visiting away, they get a broken down car given to them and they have to make it a team effort to fix it up and get to that game.
I know. I love it. Like, I know your analogy, but I don't disagree with you, Nicole. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Here it is. Like, we're not going to go behind a mask. This is who we are. If you're not going to perform and you're not going to be that number one wide receiver, guess what? You're on the bench. Now let's see what our practice squad can do. Now let's see what Kyle Trask can do. Now let's see what our depth, right, can do for our secondary, right? And then, you earn that spot. You're not entitled to any spot based on how you played in college or so on and so forth. You earn every rep on that game. That's what you do. So, it's an interesting division for sure, to say the least. But let's go to our favorite segment, and not to throw you on the spot, Handy, but you're going to be a part of it. So, discoveries.
Yes.
So I'm throwing you on the spot, Mistafingaz. I want you to tell us a fun fact that maybe people didn't know about the NFL. It could be anything team related. It could be player related. I want you to give us a fun fact.
Wow. A fun fact that nobody knew about the NFL,
or an uncommon fact.
Oh wow! This is Delilah's. This is Delilah's area of expertise right here. I I'm sounding like a real idiot right now.
I didn't prep you for this. I just
We
want
can
to
go around, come back.
Yes, please.
You want us to go around?
Please do.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That'll give me a chance to turn off my camera while I
Turn on the
Google
light
through
bulb?
my phone.
All right, Nicole, you started off. It's your segment.
Well, I've been learning lots, and I can't even believe it's week 9, and I'm surprised that my head hasn't gotten bigger with all the knowledge that you guys have given me and from what I've researched. So, first and foremost, thank you. I discovered the draft. So this is quite new to me. I guess in 2023 NFL draft, there will be the 88th annual meeting of the National Football League franchisees to select their newly eligible players. The draft is scheduled to be held in the plaza outside the Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri on April 27th to the 29th. And then one other kind of cool thing that I didn't know is the Houston Texans will have the most draft picks in 2023 NFL draft with 12.
Yes.
Including 2 in the first round, and that was as of 9 hours ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Did not know. So be an eye out on those Texans.
I love it. I love it.
I like that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Handy.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Since this is an NFC South show, here's a little fun NFC South fact. And I don't know if you guys have reached this one already because it is an NFC South show. But since the creation of the NFC South, every team in the division has at least finished in last place and played in at least one Super Bowl.
Wow.
Oh.
I didn't
like
know
that.
that actually.
Didn't know that either.
I like
We're
that.
all in it together, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. And we'll be in it again. Just,
Yes.
we will.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we will. Yes,
Yes, we will.
We
we will.
will.
Yeah, no,
We will.
We want the South.
We-
No, it's not y'all get the South. It's we want the South.
No, we own the South now. We don't want it. We own the
At
South.
least this week. My understanding is a week-to-week
give me that.
lease.
So, shout out to David Wright because my discovery is actually about the Dallas Cowboys. So, the Dallas Cowboys franchise is worth over $5 billion and is one of the most valuable franchise in all of sports, not even alone in football. So,
Wow.
that's my discovery. No
Wow.
idea. Can't believe so many
I like
people
that.
value the Cowboys. It's just
Right?
No, I'm just
Their cheerleaders have their own TV show.
yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
So
I don't like anything Cowboys, but I do like that. Sorry. What?
all right.
And that's how the fight got started.
Yeah. All right,
Sleep
Sean, what's your discovery, my dude?
My discovery is the last time that there was out before my Commanders did it in 2020. The last time there was a team that had a losing record that made it to the playoffs was Ron Rivera and the Carolina Panthers, and it was 7-8-1, and they still were. They won the division and were able to make it into the playoffs. And I think the Falcons were like 6-8-1, like 6-9-1. It was just like it was the NFC South was the NFC sucks at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I did there? See, instead of the least sucks.
Similar situation of this year. So
Right. Yes. Yeah. So that is mine. And I didn't think for a while. I didn't think that. I thought you had to have at least a 500 record to get to the playoffs, but it has happened multiple times where teams have gone under 500, still won the division, still got to the playoffs.
well, especially 8-9, right? You see a lot of 8-9 teams like kind of scurrying that wild card spot. So I don't know. I think we even saw that last year. I'm pretty sure too. So but yeah, no, not that much of a losing season. Like I don't know. To me, I know it's not considered winning, but an 8-9 to me is like a winning season. You're you're basically 500 then at that point. So
it's when you're getting your wins. You know what I mean? Like even when we went 1-7 and then win the division, we won like 6 or 7 straight. So it's like when your wins are coming. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been a great show, but I guess we got to get to the meat and the guts about it. So let's talk about projections before we kind of get out of here tonight. So So I don't know. We'll let our guest go first, Mr. Handy. What's your projection for this week, and then I'll counter it.
Who do you guys play this week?
It's the Chargers. So we're going up against the Chargers this week, which are a very hot and cold team.
Yeah.
So I guess to kind of tie in, to kind of give some insight too, we are getting Cordero Patterson back.
Nice. Okay.
And we did just sign Rashad Fenton as a cornerback.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to factor into your pick. So
that's that W.
Good.
I'm not going to eat it because it's bad luck, but that's the W. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I ain't going to do that because somebody come looking for me. They'll be like, hey, cuz. Somebody roll up on me and be like, hey, cuz. You already know what time it is. I seen your little podcast, cuz.
Hey, sir. What's your name, sir? Have you been around the playground, sir? Don't you?
And then that's when I had to go all the way back to my West African roots. I do not know what you are talking about. What are you talking about? Look at me. Look at me. This is the W now. This stands for Wakanda. Okay, I'm done.
I love it. I agree with you though. I'm thinking we get the W. I had to do a little bit of research on it because it's really hard to go and just vote against Justin Herbert. He's a really good quarterback, but the team just seems like it has a lot of holes. Correct me if I'm wrong. J.C. Jackson, who was rated going to the season one of their best cornerbacks, he's out. I believe Slater also, who is on that team, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. Is also out for the season.
Rashawn Slater. Yep.
Yeah, so they're definitely having some holes there. So honestly, I think we can come out on top. I think we can come up with the win. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout by any means because, let's be honest, all of Atlanta's games haven't been blowout, minus the fact that when we got destroyed by the Bengals. But I'm going to go and say 28-24 for Atlanta.
Is it at your guys' home or
yeah?
At the
Oh,
SoFi?
yeah. So thank you for that. So we're actually 3-1 at home, and I think that's also that's going to factor into this.
I like that. Nice.
Yep. So
Nicole with the assist.
Yeah, so
I learned about that stadium recently.
It's crazy. I have pictures of it. I went there last October.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's beautiful.
Dig it.
But Nicole, what about your Saints? Who you playing? What's your score? And are the Saints going to be all saintly or?
Listen, I was
couple
taking
7
down
layers?
my notepad there with Tom Brady and the Ravens and saying, you know what, we're not going to miss what they missed. And it was most likely a lot of likely plays to be had, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to watch him. Also, too, I can't remember his quarterback, man.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes, him. But I noticed that he likes to run. He's quick on his feet. Yeah, so we are going to have Cam Jordan and, the defensive line make sure that there's no holes and hug together. Our third down efficiency is up. So last game it was 7 for 12. So I think we need to carry that along for sure. Again, no turnovers. That's what's going to hit us.
Yeah.
Right now we're at a -9, but we're tied now finally for 16 turnovers with the Colts. So I looked forward to beating the Colts with no turnovers. We need to rely again on Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, Kamara. Shaheed's been great. Same with Olave. And I don't know if Michael Thomas and Landry are going to be back. It's kind of sucks because they gave no foreseeable forecast about bringing Michael Thomas in and when he's going to play. But they're like, don't worry, he'll play sometime this season.
Sounds like last year.
Yeah. So. But we're doing good. We're doing good without him,
Yeah.
So that's my vote is for a 28-12 win.
Oh
Wow.
I like
Yes.
that.
Okay. I should have wrote that one down because I'm really curious. Especially with Baltimore and what they did in that trade deadline, they bolstered up. So we'll see.
Yeah. As for me and mine, I have we play the Bengals. without Jamar Chase. As we know, if you saw the game last night, the Browns beat them with 32-13. Without Jamar Chase, things are very different for that offense. But I think the big factor, the thing that Cleveland did was that defense played well, and they held the Bengals to under 40 yards on the ground with those running backs, Joe Mixon, Smarty P. Ryan. If you can hold them to under 100, much less under 40 yards, I think that's going to be winning football for that D. So I feel like our D can hold them, and we're going to have to keep Joe Burrow off the field. But honestly, with Joe Burrow, without Jamar Chase, it's just kind of like, it's like, wait a minute, he seems very human right there. So we'll see. Personally, I think we can get this W. Honestly, I think it's going to be like a 17-12 game where we get enough to win, but PJ is going to bring us, get us a touchdown late in the game. I just think that the Bengals, they have to find a way to win without Jamar Chase and without that high-powered offense. And I think it's going to take them another week to figure it out. And so I think we sneak a win here and we go 3-6 and start that climb so we can start taking the South.
Relax.
Listen, you just need to get those staples in the chin straps that attach to the helmets.
Yeah.
Really staple them in.
Let's go.
Yeah, it would be because I think the Bucs also have a hard game. I'm not sure who they play. I don't know if anybody's got the schedule up, but
let me check that real quick.
They also have a really hard game too. I think it's
the Rams.
Yeah, the Bucs and the Rams. So honestly, I'm gonna say I think we're all pretty modest right now, but I don't think any of us have a very easy win in this upcoming week. So I guess we'll have to see. But Mistafingaz, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you for being our guest and talking Falcons with me. We can do it any day of the week if you'd like.
Fun times.
Hey, any day of the week. I like that.
Any day of the week. But tell us where we can find you next.
Right after this show is off, I'm on the round table. Right after the round table is off, I'm on This Week in UGA Football with a special guest from Tennessee. He's going to be and we're going to be talking about 1 versus 3. It's Saturday in Athens. So nice. But generally speaking, our show is on Mondays. We had to move it to Tuesday this week because all 3 of us were in some kind of way either on daddy duty for trick-or-treating or for candy handing out for Halloween. So we moved everything to tonight. So I'm going to be very tired when I get done. It's going to be about 10:30 by the time I get done for the day.
Well, I appreciate you and taking the time out of your day to come talk with us.
I ain't mad at it. I have fun. Nicole, I see how you're going to do me now. I see I'm going to have to.
She comes prepared, man. I'm
gonna have to bring the one-liners
that you don't expect.
I just love my puns.
I'm gonna have to come. I'm gonna have to come with the vibranium claws next time.
Yes.
I love it. Well, take care, my man. Peace out. Have a good night.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I know we ran a little bit long tonight, but there was a lot to cover this week, a lot of good, a lot of bad, and we're going to see what's going to happen in week 9. So, you know all of us. I'm one of the hosts, Kyle Yacey. We got Nicole Klychak, and we got Sean Spencer, and we will tune in and give you the results next week, Tuesday at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. And if you're looking for more football talk, tune in to the roundtable right after. So, any last words from any of you?
Let's
Keep
go.
Keep pounding.
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and have a beautiful night.
Cheers.